So it's a wonderful thing that you're here banging around. It's a wonderful thing that you're sifting through contrast. You intended to do that. You said, from your non-physical vantage point, I will send a part of my consciousness into a physical environment, and I will sift and come to new conclusions all day, every day. And when a new desire is born within me, I prefer that, I prefer that, I prefer that. Even if you are one-celled organism, when you prefer, you emanate that rocket, and the source energy, counterpart, soul, source, spirit, God of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of that and holds forevermore until you amend it further through life, that vibrational place marker for you to catch up to. In other words, like a beaming signal, a guiding light, so that you can feel your way into alignment. So when you're rude, you're out of alignment. Even if you're just being rude back, you're still out of alignment. When you're rude, you're out of alignment because the source within you never is. When you aren't loving, you're out of alignment because the source within you always is. So then humans say, oh, Abraham, give me a break. Esther said it many, many times. You got to be kidding, Abraham. You're going to stand there in your cloud and you're going to love that behavior? And we say, we didn't say that we would love that behavior. We would say we focus only in a way that allows us to radiate love. Because we know that in every behavior, there's another side of the bounce. We know that when a kid in high school is bullied and 3 or 4 bigger guys put his head in the toilet in the locker room, we know that both the one being drowned in the toilet and the ones doing the drowning are out of their vortex. And we know that in all of that behavior, whether you are the victim or the victimizer, that you are launching rockets of desire, because no one becomes a victimizer who isn't standing in a place of vulnerability for which they are trying to compensate with this arrogant behavior. In other words, the one putting the head in the toilet is hurting as bad as the one whose head is being put in the toilet. They are all out of whack. They are all out of sync with the source within them, and they are all launching rockets of desire, and every single one of them became more because of the experience. So the question isn't, should there be bullies? Of course there shouldn't be, but shouldn't anything be allowed in this universe of contrast if you are to choose? Doesn't there have to be something in order to understand what you are really wanting? So the question isn't, should there be bullies, or is there a victim, or is there a victimizer? The question that we want to bring to your mind is, in that experience, was there expansion? And the answer is yes, on the part of everyone who participated in the co-creation. And by the way, no one participates in anything that they're not a vibrational match to. So everybody launched rockets in that. The bullies launched rockets. They want to feel more secure. The one being bullied launched rockets, wants to feel more secure. And the inner being, source, spirit, God of everyone involved in that became more for the experience. More loving, more confident, more secure, more well-being. However, the potential for the gap widened, because every experience that causes who you really are to expand leaves you potentially further from who you really are. If you don't, in your physical form, keep up with you, you're going to feel awful forever. That's why many people come across a philosophy or a process that they call forgiveness. I'm going to forgive the perpetrator of that crime. And we say, really, what that forgiveness is looking at it in a way that doesn't hold you out of the vortex. But there are so many humans that want to proclaim, well, these are the unforgivable things. We'll give them the death penalty on that. We say, oh, you're giving them the ultimate forgiveness and just don't know it. There are things that you say should never be forgiven. And there are things that you say, oh, maybe we could cut them a little slack on that. And we say, as long as humanity, or more important, as long as you as individuals are sorting your life out in terms of just gathering together and trying to define what behavior is right behavior and what behavior is wrong behavior, you're not ever going to even begin to live your life as you intended to be. You don't have a chance of steady, chronic alignment with source, and therefore you don't have a chance of feeling good most of the time, and you don't have a chance of longevity or wellness of any kind. You don't have a chance of any of that you all came to live unless you are aware of your emotions and understand that your emotions are telling you whether you're keeping up with you or whether you're not. As long as it matters to you that someone else change their behavior to affect the way you feel, you have no control, no steady alignment with who you are, and no sustainable well-being, you see. But when you get it, that every time you feel negative emotion, that the object of your attention and your current take on it, in other words, your perspective in the midst of your negative emotion, means this powerful, consistent, law-based thing every time. It means you've got an opinion going on right now that the source within you does not hold. And we so want you to understand that you just can't defy the opinion of the source within you. You can't hate instead of love and feel good. Have you noticed how awful hate feels? Now, many humans will say, well, that hate sure felt better than the powerlessness that I felt right before it. We say, well, then it's an improvement. But there's something better than hate, less hate. There's something better than less hate, anger. And there's something better than anger, frustration. There's something better than frustration, hope. And there's something better than hope, belief. And there's something better feeling than belief, and that's knowing. You just got to release the thoughts that hold you away from who you are, and as you release those thoughts, law of attraction brings you closer and closer and closer to the natural you that you have become. As source energy, you sent a physical pioneer into this physical life. That's you. Here you are exploring. And here in this physical life, you're sending pioneers forward into your expansion. And the larger part of you is taking it immediately. So everything that we're going to be talking about here today, and everything that your emotions and everyone else's emotions are guiding you about, is the vibrational relationship between where you stand in your current thought, word, and action in relationship with where who you really are stands in regard to the same subject. And if we can convince you about the reality of this vibrational reality, if we can help you to feel the wholeness of who you are, who stands there, and we can give you some paths, some easy paths to releasing your patterns of thought that hold you in resistance to this, your vortex will take you in, and you will begin to receive manifestational avalanches of everything that you've been asking for. Because there is only one thing that is keeping you from the money you want and deserve and have already created, that is in your now reality, real time, present tense, from the relationships that you've already created that exists in your now reality in this vortex of creation in present tense. The only thing that's keeping you from the bodily conditions that you seek, that you've already created, that are waiting for you in your now reality, are thoughts and patterns, chronic thoughts and expectations that you've picked up along your physical trail, that every time you think them, they feel awful as you think them, but you have come to endure the negative feeling that comes with thoughts like, well, we all decline with age, or sickness is just a part of our experience, or that's all I can expect at this age of life. There are so many bogus, ridiculous thoughts that you've picked up along your physical trail, not understanding the power to create that you possess, but instead observing people who are mostly resistant, watching them decline because they are resistant, but assigning their declining to their age instead of to their resistance. And then you being resistant as you observe them, so you doing it too. In other words, we sort of kind of get why it's easier to say something unwanted that's happening to me is out of my control. But oh, when you get on the other side of that, when you figure out that nothing is out of your control, that you have the power to focus your mind based upon how the thought feels, how the thought feels, how the thought feels, how the thought feels, until you have practiced yourself chronically into your vortex. We watch you. You try so hard. We've written book after book and given you process after process, and we see you trying. Oh, Abraham, give us another process, and I promise I will do it until I hate it and you too. I will do this process. I will do it. But we want you to understand you can't buck your own current. In other words, there are things that you try from outside the vortex that just make it worse. Have you noticed? It's sort of like explaining to someone why you want something to be different than it is, and the harder you try to explain, the more they explain that it can't happen that way. It's like we've been having fun pointing out to you. These are money and the law of attraction. These are two really wonderful decks. One is money, one is health. Those are the two primary things that are bothering you in your environment. Relationships is a close third, but money and health, those are the things that most people are fretting the most about. And those are the things that most people have put more in their vortex about. You should see the veritable empires you've created in your vortex of creation. And you should see the fantastic physicality that's waiting for you. You might have to wait until you've been born again to receive the benefit of it, because you're kind of caught up in the way bodies are in this physical time-space reality. So you don't allow yourself to expect the improvements that you could have today if you wanted them. Today, if you wanted them, you've asked for them. It's all queued up. Your cells will cooperate and give it to you. If you could stop beating the drum of what is and release the vibrational patterns of what is, you could have it today. You could have it today. What we're saying to you is do 100% of your affirming from inside the vortex. Where what happens with most people, you do most of your affirming outside the vortex. Esther was in a mode of that recently, making statements of things she clearly does not want in a very affirming way, not even noticing that she was affirming and therefore practicing the vibration and therefore holding her outside the vortex longer, because she was so sure she was right in what she was saying. And what we want you to understand is, of course you're right. You're always right. You're right. What you think will manifest around you, and it will prove you right. If you think there's not enough money and you keep affirming it, it will show up like that in your life experience, and you will be right. And then you'll be able to say, see, I told you it was right. I told you. On your tombstone, they print your words. I told them I was sick. In other words, what you affirm is. This art of allowing really is about the art of affirming. It's about the art of practicing the thought of something until it becomes so practiced that you don't have to think about it. You just believe it. It is just your knowing. So we want to put it out to you. Do you believe more in wellness or in illness? Well, if you are like most of your nation that is being polled all over the place, who is frantic over health care, you believe unequivocally in illness. You believe that you will have your way out of this earth with tubes up your nose and tubes in your veins, and that you will need this health care. You will need it because there is this long decline that is certain for you. If you're like most people, that's what you believe. But it's not what the source within you knows. It's not what who you really are knows. So when you think that thought, you feel horrible. And then you think you feel horrible because your government or somebody isn't doing something that you think they need to do. You're giving your power over to uncontrollable circumstances, you see. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is delicious to come together with those like you out here on the leading edge, wanting to define who you are and wanting to come into alignment with the fullness that you are constantly becoming. Lighten up about all of this. Be easy about it. Don't try so hard. Give yourself and others the benefit of the doubt. Just chill out. And let the vortex be your most sought after vibrational place of residing. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain eternally and blissfully in the vortex.